A BSO Corrections deputy charged accused of hitting an inmate.
As 7's Karen Hensel tells us this noon, it's not the first time we've uncovered issues at this jail.
Prosecutors say BSO detention deputy Delroy Rose repeatedly hit an inmate while trying to close a jail cell door at the North Broward Bureau in October 2020. Now he has been charged with misdemeanor battery. According to the arrest report, Deputy Rose was working in a medical unit when he saw an inmate throw a cup containing an unknown substance. Shortly after, the deputy attempted to close the door flap of the cell, but the inmate wouldn't let it close. It was then, the report says, that Rose retrieved his flashlight and repeatedly struck the man's hands and fingers until he was able to close the cell. The incident involving the 56-year-old deputy and 24-year-old inmate just coming to light on Thursday. But issues at the jail are not new and have been documented by 7 Investigates. The Pompano Beach facility primarily houses inmates with special needs and mental illness. Inmates like 33-year-old Nathaniel Calhoun, who was diagnosed with bipolar disorder as a teen.
I just don't want to see another person treated like my son was.
In this August 4th letter sent to Sheriff Gregory Toney by Public Defender Gordon Weeks, Calhoun was accused of spitting in a different deputy's face. Weeks says that deputy then retaliated by intentionally pouring bleach and some other chemical substance in Calhoun's cell with clear intent to do him harm and as punishment.
You do not respond to someone's mental illness with abuse or torture or trying to chemically subdue them with fumes from bleach. That is inappropriate and is borderline criminal.
Weeks' letter says Calhoun was taken to the hospital in grave condition last month after losing consciousness. But in an interview earlier this week, Sheriff Toney told 7 News Calhoun never lost consciousness, was walking, and taken to the hospital hours later.
What we were able to assess clearly, no one sprayed the inmate with bleach. They cleaned the cell at some point, but he was never sprayed or saturated with any form of chemicals by any of my staff.
In yet another incident involving a 3rd deputy at the same jail, 7 Investigates obtained surveillance video showing the deputy punching a 4'11" inmate 13 times, using both his right and left fists before throwing her on the floor. After a review of the incident, including the video, BSO identified no misconduct by the deputy. In this latest incident, Deputy Rose is suspended without pay. We reached out to his attorney and the union representing detention deputies, but we have not heard back yet. Meanwhile, the Broward Sheriff, Gregory Toney, issued a statement that reads in part, any allegation of misconduct by an employee of the Broward Sheriff's Office will be thoroughly investigated. I have made it clear that I have zero tolerance for any abuse of power, and I have demonstrated that commitment time and time again by holding employees to account for their actions. The investigation involving this detention deputy will be no different. In Pompano Beach, Karen Hensel, 7 News.